Imagine you're 16 years old. You just finished church. It's early evening and before you leave, you check your phone. There's a message waiting for you. From a boy you've been talking to online. You know his name. You've seen his profile. You've read his messages so many times that you already know the way he types. And tonight, you're finally going to meet him. So you leave the church. You don't tell your mother. Maybe because you know she'll ask questions. Maybe because you think you'll only be gone for a little while. You walk outside and you look for a 17-year-old boy. Next thing you know, the boy you know doesn't exist, and your mother lost you forever. Tonight, we're going to talk about the murder of Christine Lee SILAWAN, a 16-year-old girl from Cebu, Philippines, and a fake Facebook profile that may have been created specifically to get close to her. Welcome to the podcast You Can't Unhear. Christine Lee SILAWAN was 16 years old. She lived in Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu, with her mother Lourdes. When people described Christine, they often remembered her as obedient, diligent, someone who took her church responsibilities seriously. Christine regularly attended services and reportedly served as a church collector. Her mother knew her routines. Christine would usually tell Lourdes where she was going, what she was doing, and when she expected to return. It was the kind of relationship where a mother slowly memorizes her daughter's movements without even realizing it. You know when she leaves. You know roughly when she'll come home. You know which silence is normal and which silence feels wrong. On March 10th, 2019, Christine asked her mother for permission to attend church. Nothing about that request seemed unusual. She had gone before. She would go again. So Lourdes allowed her daughter to leave. What Lourdes didn't know was that Christine apparently had another plan after church. She was going to meet someone, a person she had been communicating with online, and Christine didn't tell her mother. That evening, Christine didn't come home. No message. No explanation. Hours passed. And eventually, the familiar routine that Lourdes understood so well began to break apart. Her daughter wasn't answering. She wasn't returning. And Lourdes became worried enough to seek help. Then, the next morning, March 11th, residents discovered the body of a young girl in a vacant lot in Barangay Bangkal, Lapu-Lapu City. The scene was immediately disturbing. The victim had suffered multiple injuries. Her face had been severely mutilated. She was unclothed from the waist down. At first, identification was difficult, but Lourdes heard about the discovery. She went to investigate. And somehow, a mother had to look at what was left and understand that the girl in front of her was Christine, her daughter. Christine was only 16. Investigators would later determine that she had suffered numerous stab wounds. Reports described injuries to her neck, hands, and torso. A later forensic examination by the public attorney's office team confirmed evidence of sexual assault and said acid may have been poured onto Christine's face before the skin was removed. The forensic team also reported that Christine had been strangled with a rope. And based on the condition of the body, they suspected something else. They believed more than one person may have been involved. Possibly at least 3. That detail is important because from the beginning, this investigation would never move in one clean direction. It would move from one suspect to another, one confession to a denial, one theory to another. In the beginning, we got a teenager as suspect, Christine's former boyfriend. In public reports, he was identified only as John. John was 17 years old, and investigators discovered that he had previously been in a relationship with Christine. According to authorities, Christine had broken up with him only days before her death. Immediately, police began looking at jealousy, a rejected boyfriend, a murdered teenage girl, a relationship that had recently ended. On the surface, the theory made sense. Then investigators examined Facebook Messenger conversations connected to Christine. They reportedly found deleted messages. They also found a CCTV footage from March 10th showed Christine walking away from the church in the early evening. A man appeared to be following her. Investigators believed John could be connected. On March 16th, John was arrested. And almost immediately, his face became connected to Christine's murder. The public had a suspect. Christine's mother believed investigators had the right person. Police spoke confidently about the case. At one point, the Philippine National Police publicly said the murder was considered solved, although authorities were still searching for 2 other possible suspects. John's family insisted he was innocent. They said there was no real evidence connecting him to Christine's death. His mother argued that if her son had committed something so horrific, why would he still be home? Why wouldn't he run? There were also questions about John's whereabouts that evening. His family and acquaintances gave accounts suggesting he had been around the neighborhood. Investigators, however, pointed to CCTV footage and eyewitness information that they believed contradicted parts of those claims. For weeks, John remained trapped inside a story where everyone seemed convinced they already knew the ending. Then, another man appeared. His name was Renato Payupan Yenes. He was 43 years old, a live-in partner, a father of 5. And on April 9th, 2019, police arrested him in Lapu-Lapu City after he was allegedly found carrying an unlicensed firearm during an election gun ban. But during the investigation, Renato began talking about Christine. According to police, he confessed. And the story he told changed the entire case. Renato claimed he had created fake Facebook accounts. One of the identities reportedly used to communicate with Christine was connected to the name CJ Diaz. Online, the person behind the profile appeared to be a teenage boy, someone much closer to Christine's age. Renato allegedly used the fake identity to communicate with her, message her, build familiarity, create a relationship that only existed because Christine believed the person on the other side of the screen was someone else. And according to Renato's confession, eventually, Christine agreed to meet. March 10th. After church, Christine walked outside expecting the person from Facebook. But instead, according to Renato's account, she saw him, a 43-year-old man. Christine was surprised. She wanted to leave. Renato claimed Christine told him she had other plans and mentioned meeting her former boyfriend. Renato became jealous. He followed Christine. The confrontation moved toward a vacant lot. What happened there was described by Renato during his extrajudicial confession. He claimed he attacked Christine with a pair of scissors. Police later said DNA evidence recovered from the scissors matched both Renato and Christine. Authorities also said Renato's DNA was found on Christine's body. Renato himself even publicly asked authorities to release Christine's former boyfriend. So in May 2019, the murder complaint against John was dismissed. The prosecutor's office said the complaint lacked sufficient basis and instead recommended murder charges against Renato Lenes. John was legally separated from the case. But Renato's confession didn't solve every question, because investigators noticed inconsistencies. Renato said he used scissors, but forensic experts had raised the possibility that acid was used on Christine's face. The condition of Christine's body had also led the PAO forensic team to believe multiple people may have participated. Renato's story seemed to describe one man, one weapon, one attack. So where were the others? Police had previously spoken about additional suspects. The forensic team believed there could have been at least 3 perpetrators. Yet now, investigators only had Renato. Nevertheless, the case against him moved forward. A murder complaint was filed. But when Renato appeared in court, he pleaded not guilty. The man who had confessed outside court was now denying the murder charge inside it. That stopped the case. On May 24, 2020, Renato Lenes was found dead inside the Lapu-Lapu city jail. Authorities said he had been found in the comfort room of his cell. His death was ruled a suicide by hanging. Renato would never stand through a complete murder trial. There would be no final verdict. No cross-examination of his confession in a completed case. No courtroom conclusion explaining exactly what happened to Christine on March 10, 2019. After Renato's death, prosecutors said the murder case against him would automatically be dismissed. Legally, the case died with the accused. And this is where I think Christine's story becomes so difficult to sit with. Because police had a confession. They reported DNA evidence. They had a man who allegedly created fake accounts to communicate with Christine. There was enough evidence for prosecutors to pursue Renato instead of the teenage ex-boyfriend. But investigators had also once believed multiple people were involved. Forensic experts had questions about the condition of Christine's body, and Renato died before a court could fully test the case against him. So when people say Christine's case was closed, I always wonder what that word actually means. Closed for what? For who? Because for Lourdes, Christine's mother, there is no administrative word that makes March 10th disappear. Her daughter left home to attend church, but this time, she's not coming back. The murder of Christine Lee SILAWAN became one of the Philippines' most disturbing true crime cases. But beneath the forensic details, the suspects, the conflicting theories, there is one small part of this story that I can't stop thinking about. Christine's mother said her daughter usually told her where she was going. But this time, Christine kept one plan secret. Maybe she wanted one small part of her 16-year-old life to belong only to her. A boy. A meeting. A secret. Something that probably felt completely ordinary. And somewhere, on another phone, a 43-year-old man was waiting. Thank you for listening. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe. I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast You Can't Unhear.